This program is intended for mature audiences. Parental discretion is advised.
Oh snap, here we are. I got a good old-fashioned flea market comic book haul video to serve up for you today. Very good, very exciting. Very exciting. I tell you, I feel like it's been weeks, if not a couple months, I feel like, since I've hit the flea markets, digging through those boxes, man. So it was good to get my hunt on. And I went in with a budget in mind. I went in with $100. I was like, all right, this is what I'm spending. I'm not going to hit that ATM up. I'm going to show restraint, and I'm just going to see what I can get for this 100. And I will be, and you can let me know how I did. Shout out to the chat, man. We got Unruly Simeon. Unruly Simeon in the place to be. And let's not forget Biggie Shaq from New World Order Comics, who crushed it on the rap battle, the much anticipated rap battle on DJ Link's channel. That was good job, Big. That was pretty fun, man. I was wondering how all that was going to pan out, and that shit was entertaining. Can't lie, it almost gave me the itch a little bit of like, ooh, it's been a while since I flexed my lyrical abilities. But I don't know. Sam, I am. Good to see you, my friend. Massachusetts represent. Sam, I am. Yeah, I got a fat stack. If you guys seen it in my Instagram check-in, I got a bit of a fat stack. As far as just sheer volume of books, I mean, I made it happen. Made it happen. Collectible paper, you are a winner. Undoubtedly. Biggie's going to get himself some short boxes tomorrow. Yeah, man, you got to get them books sitting in their boxes. I co-sign that. I'm a big, matter of fact, I usually have a couple extra boxes kicking around, just in case. You never know if I'm liable to just grab a big stack of books. Want to make sure I got a couple boxes on deck tucked away in the closet for if my collection unexpectedly grows one day, everything can sit in a box. Superior Hero Reviews. Good to see you, man. Yep, that's right, Sam. What is a comic budget? Restraint? What is this? I know the feeling, gentlemen. Patrick Wall in the place to be with the killer mashup. Joker and Star Wars. And speaking of that, man, I just saw that the cartoonist kayfabe guys they covered this book. This book that I've been wanting this book for such a long time. It's the Batman, animated series book. It's behind the scenes, production, content, info from, the creators and all that. And this book is it's a primo book. You would find it at a lot of bookstores and stuff. And that thing has hit the secondary market, and it's become a pricey book. I think it was cover price $50 maybe. And you are hard pressed to find that thing under $200 no matter where you go. And there's not many of them. Cousin Dave has it. My cousin Dave, I remember thumbing through it oh my God, I want this book. I would love digging through the intricacies of that book. There's like, I remember there was one on eBay that looks almost like suspiciously cheap, but there's no pictures and it says it's used, and like from the description, it almost makes it seem like it's beat. So just throwing this. If any of you guys come across that book on the cheap, snag it up for your boy, man. I've been wanting that book. Uh, I'll pay you and all that good stuff. BTC Moon Guy, good to see you. As well as Craig69, who's not here, but here. All right, let's just get into the main event. You know, I don't have too much preamble content to get into. I just want to kick it off into these books. So I lucked out on this visit because, yo, what up, Funkadelic? Going through the flea market, right? Walking through. And as I'm going through, I find this guy's booth, and it's not very fancy. It's very bare bones, older guy with a bunch of boxes out. And I had never seen him before because I frequent this flea market pretty often. And I'd never seen this guy before, but I'm like, I haven't been here in a while. So whatever, maybe he just got past me. So I'm like, hey, how's it going? I'm like, so how long have you had this booth, you know? He's like, oh, today is my first day here. I was like, oh, cool. Which is like, and there was no one there at his booth. I was the only one digging. So right there was like sparks flying in my head, because that's what you want at a flea market. Because there's a vendor there, there's a few vendors there that they're there every week. They're a staple of the flea market. People know, people have gone through their stuff, and they're established sellers. There's a couple guys, no doubt, that they'll bring new inventory in, but a lot of it is, you know, same guys selling their wares. But what you want to get is a new seller who's got a fresh crop of stuff and no one's gone through it. So I'm like, oh yeah, let's see if I can get some gems. And he didn't, you know, seem very like key-minded or anything. He was just like, whatever. So like, let me see if I can get some stealth buys. And I think I did. He had mostly modern. It was like all modern stuff. Yo, Big D-Runk, let's get it in them books, boy. I will. John's Comics with Kids, salute to you. I see that you just joined the Mr. Miracle comic book cover homage club. I saw that Fantastic Four #1 with John's face as the monster. Like, those are getting better and better from our boy Miracle. Congratulations on being added to the guild. Yeah, Rayman didn't get his mitts on this guy's stuff yet. Okay, so I went to 2 sellers. Let me go to that first seller. This is the guy that, again, the first day vendor with the modern stuff. It was all modern. So I'm thumbing through and I saw this. The Star Wars Kanan Last Padawan. Oh yeah. And you know what's funny is you know, I don't know Kanan from Conan, brother. I'm not entrenched in Star Wars stuff. I kind of know what's what when we're talking the original 1970s run. I've familiarized myself with that pretty good. But any modern Marvel, any Dark Horse stuff, I'm really not too clued in. But, you know, thankfully, I stay, you know, tuned in to my comic book YouTube content and my comic book Instagram observations. So I knew that this was like a good one, you know. So I knew that when there was 2 of them, that I better grab both, you know. And there's one that I think might be a 9.8 candidate, And there's another that has a couple ticks, so it's probably, near mint minus or something. But I was like, hell yeah, $2 a piece. So I figured that was a win. I was happy with that pickup. And I love that they're Mark Brook covers, because I got a few more of these. What's up, Tacoma Comics? Oh, what's up, man? You saw the IG post. Thank you. Good to see you, Tacoma. One of the premier hunters in the community. I got to give credit where it's due. Tacoma is a hawk out there in the game. Oh, nice. Johnny says, great book to have right now. I was thinking so. Hey, you paid for the lot right there. Nice. Dude, you know what's funny is I didn't want to look up much while I was going through. I just knew that this was one, and yeah, it wasn't until I got home and I started looking up like what it sells for. I was like, oh, smokes. I was like, that was even like more valuable than I thought. So I grabbed number 3 and 4 as well. Three and 4, which I don't think there's anything key about them, but man, Mark Brooks really delivered on all these covers. Hey, my boy Norin. Hey, Norin. Yeah, man, a couple bucks. He it was $100. I went to the flea market with $100 in my pocket cash, and that's the $100 bounty. Because the you know how he priced it? He goes, yeah, all the books since they're modern. He's like, all the books are half cover price. I was like, okay, no doubt. So, that was a $4 cover price book. So, yeah, 2 beans. I was like, okay, half cover price, cool. Because I'm like, hey, there's no pricing on the books. What are your price? He's like, half cover. It's like, what's up, God Tank? Good to see you, man. Artist extraordinaire. Maybe I'll try and slab the better condition one. We'll see. And then he had one more in there, which I guess this one has a key element as well. Issue number 12. But I forget what it was. But again, another Mark Brooks fire cover, man. He's just really, when it comes to modern artists, I'm a big fan of him. Okay. Next is a set of books that, dude, honestly, I've been wanting for a while. But I'm like, I don't want to pay eBay prices for it, because they kind of get jacked up. I've always hoped I was going to find them in the wild, and I did today. What's up, CFAP? Good to see you, man. And that's the America Chavez stuff. Because I know there's like some kind of movie stuff coming up, but I also just always dug the idea of this character. I gotta be honest, I've never read any of her stuff. I've always thought the design of her just looked cool. Like the art associated with this character always seemed like pretty legit. But I will say I was a little disappointed when I found out what her power set was. Because I guess she's like, her deal is she like travels through she can like travel through dimensions and can open up portals to different dimensions and stuff. So it's that kind of power base. And yeah, I was kind of hoping that, I just assumed she had super soldier serum, I just thought like, oh, that's cool. She has like some kind of ties to Captain America, and it's like this like cool designed Latina chick with super soldier powers, which is what I assumed, but I guess not. So anyway, we got the number 1 issue The issue number 2, which I think is a fantastic cover. There was 2 of them, so I grabbed them both. I think this is a homage to. There's a lot of homages I noticed in this run. This is an homage to, I think it's like a Beyonce album cover or something like that, or maybe just a well-known piece of Beyonce artwork. But yeah, little Beyonce. You got Captain Marvel and her name escaped, Monica Rambeau on the side there. So that's just a dope cover, that's for sure. Okay, Tacoma reporting back on. So the first 3 issues are so-so, then it picked up. Yeah. Yeah, I'm not crazy about that power set they gave her. And honestly, that was my other beef with Ms. Marvel. Like, I wanted to like the character. And I feel like that's another character that just got mispowered. Like, if you got America Chavez, time travel portal jumping just doesn't seem to jive with the design and I think the idea of the character. And Ms. Marvel is the same thing. It's like you feel like there's some connection to Captain Marvel, right? So you would think there'd be like some cosmic type powers. It would be cool if that little girl had like cosmic abilities, but she's got stretchy powers. I don't like stretchy powers, really. I've always thought that it's not particularly cool. Like, it only works for Mr. Fantastic has it. Him and Plastic Man should really be the only ones that have it and leave it at that, So, yeah, thumbs down on Ms. Marvel's power set being stretchy. And I'm almost like, I think her costume looked pretty cool on the photo, the set reveals that we saw. I mean, it looked about as comic accurate as you're going to get. But I cringe at the thought of what her scenes are going to look like when she starts using her stretchy powers. Because it's so hard to make stretch powers look good on film, Sometimes you can pull it off in comic book art, but it never looks good on camera, His God Tank's wife makes fun of him for saying homage all the time. It's a great word, homage. I like throwing a little Italian spice on there. It's an homage. D-Runk says power sets matter. Agreed. Hello, Gray Man. Tip of the hat to you. Newbie Comics, in the place to be. Good to see you, Newbie. Newbie's channel's on the uprise, as we all know. Stacking up them bangers. Good for you, man. Biggie says, wait a minute, you're a FF fan. That's true. That's true. But, those things are not mutually exclusive. I love Fantastic Four, and I pretty much like Reed Richards. But, yeah, I'm not a big fan of the stretchy power set. Okay, let me continue on here. So that was the last book we saw. I got 2 copies of that. That's issue number 2. Here's issue number 4. Again, another homage. And I actually pulled the reference book for this. So, as you may know, this may have caught your eye, that America Chavez number 3 is an homage of course, Uncanny X-Men number 171, from when Rogue joins the X-Men. Welcome to the X-Men, Rogue, if you survive the experience. And that's what they say here for America Chavez. So I thought that was pretty clever. Cool. Oh, Tacoma weighing in on the stretchy. It's not quite stretchy. She embiggens. Oh, I love Biggins. Biggins makes me think of Al Bundy, that magazine Al Bundy used to check out. Biggins. She embiggens. She extends her arms and makes a large fist. She grows and stands tall, but keeps proportions. I feel you. I'm sure I'm simplifying by saying she has stretchy powers, but that's kind of, you know what I'm saying, what it is. There's a lot of stretchiness going on. Man Cave Comics, the doc, in the place to be. Good to see you, my friend, on this Sunday. Same thing with Jaguar. Jaguar X, one of the premier content creators on YouTube. Same. At least when you see her stretchy powers, you'll get an idea of what Mr. Fantastic's stretchy powers will look like. That's what I'm afraid of. I'm like, once we see him, I'm like, oh no, Reed's gonna look like trash. But you're right. Hopefully they work the kinks out, because it's very important to make sure that Reed Richards looks badass on camera. I stand Miss Marvel, so I may be biased. Yeah, I've noticed Tacoma is a premier Ms. Marvel collector. Just like Lady Fantastic. I know Lady Fantastic is very into Ms. Marvel. Which, no doubt, hey, tip of the hat, man. I always like when I see new characters pick up steam, you know? Because there ain't that many of them that do. So, respect. Next issue is number 4. I feel like this could be an homage of something, but I can't call what it would be. Issue number 4. Looks like it's maybe a chick of African descent, because I'm seeing, like, I don't know, some paint and some of the design elements here with the American flag. A lot going on in this cover. But is there an homage? You tell me. Because there's still one more homage in this bunch of America. So that was issue number 4. We're going to cruise through to issue number 5. And you may recognize this artist. This is Jen Bartel. You can definitely tell it's got that Jen Bartel style. And it looks like Jen Bartel style looks like it's a mix of fashion magazine and something out of like Barbie, you know? And I'm not even saying that it's a bad thing. But it has that element. And there's times where that style really nails it. Like that, like all those Women History Month covers that she did were top notch. But yeah, we got, Hawkeye, of course, Kate Bishop, who it sounds like these two characters have ties. We know I've seen set photos of Kate Bishop, Hawkeye, which I predict is going to be all these MCU shows are just at the rate they're going seem like they're going to be home runs, and that they're all being taken seriously with heavy care and all that. I think Kate Bishop's going to be huge. I think that Hawkeye show is going to be awesome. So will that lead to these two characters linking up? Yeah, is that Pizza Dog? That's a good question. Could be. Boom. Okay, last one from the America set. And this one I know is an homage. Not of another comic book issue, but of something from pop culture. Let's see if the chat can guess. Someone in the chat can guess. What is, and it's such a great cover too, America number 7. Can anyone spot the America number 7 homage, inspiration? Pretty cool. She's looking kind of buff. Little booty shot, looking back. Shades in the back pocket. There we go. Yes. It's the boss. Bruce Springsteen. Jackson Roykirk. Yep. And I'm coming from Jersey. Bruce Springsteen. Yeah, the J-Lo. Yeah, no, not J-Lo. But it is a booty shot, which I bet you there is photos of J-Lo. that mimic this pose. Let me see if it won't take me too long. I think maybe it could be fun. Here we go. Okay, let's do this. Born in the USA. Yeah, and that's why it's pretty fitting, to do it. Here we go. Boom. See how that looks? Yeah, so up on the top right corner, as you can see, Bruce Springsteen with the classic, jeans with the red stripes in the background. He had like the working man's rag in his back pocket where she has her sunglasses. But yeah, pretty cool Bruce Springsteen homage. I feel like my lighting's kind of weak. Let me just gonna move this. I'll do a quick lighting tweak, y'all. Some impromptu production. Yeah, see, that's better. Now you can see it better. Okay. Born in the USA. Okay, yeah, everyone was on top of it. All right, so that's the America. So far we went through the Kanan Star Wars in the America. The next, and the rest that I got from him is like just modern, kind of key-ish books that I was just plucking. So the next one I grabbed, again, we're talking half cover price, but I grabbed up that Action Comics, Jim Lee cover. My understanding is this is the first appearance of Death from the Sandman universe in DC continuity. Pretty cool. I've always thought this was a great cover. There aren't many Action Comics keys, especially once you get into the 90s and beyond, modern stuff. But this is one of them, this is one of them. Cool skulls in the background. The color palette is dope. It's just a great cover. So we got that. Oh, there must be something going on storyline wise because it says Lex Luthor's Action Comics. So was Lex Luthor like the title character of Action during this time? That's interesting. I've always really liked Lex Luthor as a villain. Okay. Next up, a very sharp copy of All New Captain America #1. I didn't look this up. I didn't look up the key app or anything for it. I don't know what they call this. If it's just, I think it's just like the #1 issue of Sam Wilson as Captain America. Because I know it's not his first debut with the suit, but I think it's just the first time that he gets the series. And, perfect timing for me because I've always thought this was like an okay move to do, make Falcon Captain America. But if I'm being honest, I've always looked at it like a cheap pop, of just make new characters. Like, why do you keep on, I'm not a big fan of legacy characters. I got to be honest. It's like, okay, you're going to make, which classic hero are you going to make female or black or different ethnicity or younger or whatever. And I've always kind of looked at, Falcon as Captain America kind of in that way of like, all right, good, fair enough. It's not far-fetched, too far-fetched, but I thought it was gimmicky. But after seeing the story unfold the way the MCU has done it, the way the MCU served it up to me. I love this. I love Falcon as Captain America. Not indefinitely. Like, I think it would be appropriate for him to go back to being Falcon after a period of time. But, with Steve Rogers dying, Steve Rogers gives him the shield. And, like, the way that they play that out in the series, like how he didn't want it at first. Like, it's not until the last episode, really, where he, like, I mean, that's not really spoilers, right? Where he takes on the shield and takes on the suit. Like, expertly crafted. A lesser TV series would have, because Cap already gave him the shield at the end of Endgame. A lesser quality show would have started episode 1 with Sam Wilson being like, all right, I'm Captain America now. I've been taking over his thing. And, like, they would just play the whole series out with him as Captain America. But I'll be damned if they didn't, like, that would have been a cheap way. That would have made me been, like, not as into it. But, damn, they convinced me that he earned the mantle by the end of that series, and that there was no one else fitting for the role than him. And not only is there no one else fitting to the role, but someone should be Captain America. Because if he doesn't, then the government is going to treat Captain America like their IP. Like, the IP of Captain America, the U.S. government is not going to let that go to waste. They could sell action figures. They could make Saturday morning cartoons. And they'll just draft some government-controlled jabroni to be it. But if you own it, it takes Falcon to own that shit and be like, no, you ain't going to. He had to get involved. Sorry if that, sorry for the tangent, but that's just my thoughts on the Falcon Winter Soldier. I think it was a really well done show. Is it flawed? Yes. Like, I think, there's some logic flaws in it. I think they had to do, like, I think it originally had, like, a virus epidemic theme to the show that they scrapped last minute once COVID became an issue. Because you know how there's, like, vaccines that come into play sometimes but don't really pay off. I think they had to scramble and recalibrate some stuff. So I think that probably led to some issues. But, overall well executed. Thanks, Norin. Yeah, I think it worked out pretty good. And we're still only, maybe 30% through. D-Runk loved Falcon and Winter Soldier. I agree. Sam cosigns. Why don't you marry it? Very Pee-wee's Playhouse of you. That reminds me of Pee-wee Herman. Miss Marvel won't have stretchy powers. Instead, she has a bracelet that acts like Green Lantern's rings. Oh, snap. Okay, interesting. Is that sacrilegious, Tacoma? Let us know. Let us know, Tacoma. Tacoma wasn't big on the last episode. Fair enough. The speech at the end was a little hokey, but I still thought it was pretty cool. Yeah, the Sharon Carter story, I agree, felt weird. I don't know if they're gonna, because now that there's, like, Secret Invasion in the works, you never know when they're just gonna be like, oh, that wasn't me, that was a Skrull, and just, like, totally wash their hands of it. But yeah, it seemed like that rubbed a lot of people the wrong way. The Sharon Carter villain twist. But, okay, this next one, I don't know if there's anything special about this. I'll be honest, I just saw that this all-new Wolverine series was, like, on the Tom list. And I haven't even watched the Tom list. I just saw it in the thumbnail. I was going through my timeline and I saw, like, maybe the #1 issue was on the Tom list. So I was like, whatever. It was the only issue that he really had from this run. So I was like, banging cover, Weapon X. I really dug it. Can't beat it. Love that cover. Let's see. Yo, what's up, Mastodon? I was watching your top 50 comics. I got like halfway through it before I had to handle some business, but good stuff. And Mastodon says, I don't think it was hokey at all. It was right on the money. No doubt. I think the sentiment was right on the money. I just think it went a little long and like, yeah, I could see you having that opinion. Okay. Purist in him is bothered. Yeah. Yeah. Stretch in embiggening powers are hard to do. Okay. All right. So that was All New Wolverine. Next up on the docket, I was like, hey now, I'll take this on the cheap. Snagged up a little A-Force #1. This thing is like so crispy. All the stuff was high grade, very nice. So we got a nice A-Force #1 issue. Bam. All the gals of the Marvel Universe represented on here. Even Jubilee was back there. Jubilee, Firestar, Dazzler. I don't know who this chick is, though. She has like a staff. Is that like a new version of Scarlet Witch with a staff? No. Maybe it is, because they don't have... How would you not have Scarlet Witch on this cover when you got Songbird and the chick from Alpha Flight and Hellcat and Dazzler? Maybe that is a version of Scarlet Witch. If anyone knows, let me know. Oh, she's from the Runaways. So they did... Oh, wait, no, my bad. There she is. She was hiding. So I thought that was going to be crazy if they didn't have Scarlet Witch in the series on the cover. It's a character from Runaways. Okay. All right, next up. I'm a sucker for cool She-Hulk covers. So I picked up a couple from the Charles Soule run. Issue number 12. That's a primo She-Hulk cover. Really dig that. And this one's pretty cool too. Her blasting through the wall with the summons to appear in court. But I gotta tell you, man, I dig She-Hulk. But a lot of this stuff, aside from the sensational She-Hulk run, which I thought was well done, some of the other stuff is just hard to read. Like, for example, let me show you. It was just a weird time for She-Hulk. Because you see that cover and you're like, oh man, I feel like, I don't know, you get a certain sense of the title. But I gotta be honest, it's some of the worst art. It's some of the worst art. That you'll find. You know, I'm okay with simplistic style or even like cartoony style. But man, I don't know. I feel like this is... I can't help but feel like it's low effort, man. Like, look at... There was one panel. Because there's some moments where I almost get like... What's the name of that series? There's some moments where I almost get like that 8 Ball, you know, that independent comic 8 Ball. There's moments where I have like the dude who did 8 Ball, whose name escapes me, but I know he's like a don in the indie circuit. So there's moments where I feel like, is that what they're going for? But then there's other moments where I'm like, I don't know. I don't think it is. Like, that's really simplistic panel. It just looks, very, it looks like it's just really geared towards little kids. Like, if you have a double page spread for in a She-Hulk comic, right? Think of all the things you could do in a She-Hulk double page spread. Look how the double page spread gets used in this comic. Come on, dude. That's your money shot, double page spread. 2 characters facing each other with a blank white background. Like, this tells me that they just wanted to fill the pages. I'm sorry. And I didn't. Where's the page I really wanted to share? Because there was one panel that I was like, oh man, this is really not cutting the mustard. Oh, it's this one. In fairness, I do think that Nightwatch looked pretty cool in this style. He almost has like a Spawn vibe. But look in the background, She-Hulk jumping down. Like, dude, that's too. Come on. That's too low effort, man. Shout out to this artist. Is it Polito? They didn't even call him an artist. Look, writer Charles Soule, storyteller Javier Pulido. Isn't that a weird choice of words? Instead of calling him an artist, they called him a storyteller. I don't blame him. I wouldn't call him an artist either. No, I'm just kidding. That's too harsh. He's definitely an artist. No disrespect. But, Marvel editorial department should have been on his ass. What's up, JP Budget? Collecting? Good to see you, sir. We're going through the flea market haul. We're about halfway through, and we got about that much left. The $100 hunting spree. Biggie says, some people say that runs the best, and the old stuff was corny. I like sensational fourth wall breaking stuff. Yeah, I do think that aside from the art being top notch, John Byrne, I think he actually wrote the fourth wall breaking stuff pretty well, about as good as you can. I thought it was pretty clever, and especially for the time, it was a pretty fresh concept. That was before they had Deadpool running around breaking fourth walls. She-Hulk was doing it before that. Next up, we're done with the She-Hulk. I snagged this up. This was just a cover buy, I gotta be honest, but we're going from maybe a subpar artist to one of the GOAT artists. It's really tough to rank like, a top 10. Because I feel like I can name top 2 or 3, I think it's a bit of a consensus that you would get like Kirby is 1. I think most people agree. Kirby was so prolific and his style was just amazing that it's too important to not put him at number 1. I think John Buscema easily top 3. Once you get to, beyond that, maybe you're bringing in Infantino or Ramita Sr. or what have you. But as you flesh out the ranks, Art Adams might fall into my top 10 Mount Rushmore. I have a huge reverence for the style of Art Adams. I love his stuff. And this is X-Men Blue, some random kind of series from the 2000s. X-Men Blue number 9. But you know what he's doing, y'all. You know what he's doing. I pulled the reference for you. Another homage. We got an homage on our hands of X-Men 50. And let's see, he restored it. I mean, pretty faithfully. Let's see how we did on the bottom part. So we had Iceman, Cyclops. Yeah, you still have Iceman, Cyclops, Beast. Yeah, most of the characters are in play. He added a couple. He added that dude. Zorn, I think is his name. It looks like Wolverine got added in. I don't think Wolverine's on the original. No, he's not. Because he didn't even exist yet. So yeah, Art Adams with the X-Men 50 homage, man. So I couldn't leave that there for half cover price, dude. Taking that home. Welcome, Mr. Garrel, Mr. G, as well as Kachung, the two space cowboys themselves. If you didn't know, and you like your Star Wars, oh, you guys missed my Star Wars stuff up front. These two gentlemen, Kachung and Mr. Garrel, have a show where they cover everything Star Wars that you need. It's on Mr. Garrel's channel. And I think it's called Space Cowboys or the Lightsaber Boys or something like that. Lightsaber Lads or the Force Hour. One of those is the name of the show. I forget. But you should check that out. But yeah, check it out. Mr. G and Kachung. Your boy scored 2 copies of Kanan number 1. Leave it to comics in the place to be. Oh, whoops. Leave it to comics in the place to be. Close. Okay, next up. And this is the last book that I got from that news seller. Last book I got from the news seller who had all the modern stuff. So from here, we're going to get into some older books that I got from a different vendor. We got an issue of, I'd never seen this cover before. Silver Surfer number 5. Look at that. With Silver Surfer, bam, giving the old slug to the Hulk with his surfboard, man. That is something else. It almost reminds me, it's a Silver Surfer Hulk battle cover akin to Tales to Astonish. Those look kind of cool together, right? But I'll tell you something. There's a difference. Because the art style of this book is closer in tone to like that She-Hulk book that I was pointing out, with like almost like it wants to be like that 8-ball indie comic style, but not cutting it. This here I think looks cool, and I think he does the interiors too. This is Mike Allred, who Mike Allred is well respected in the game because he's the guy that created Madman. He's the dude that did Madman, and even though his style is definitely not one that is super muscular or your conventional superhero style drawing, and it's more like that indie style. But I feel like it's not low effort, and that was my point about the She-Hulk book. Is it's not. I wasn't disliking it simply because the style was not a bodacious, muscular She-Hulk and whatever. It just looked low effort, And Mike Allred, he might be a little more on that indie style too, but you're getting nice backgrounds. You're still getting dope page composition. It's funny that he ended up doing Silver Surfer because Silver Surfer and Madman don't look that different, because Madman pretty much had like an all-white face with the black around his eyes and like a mostly white costume. So it's kind of funny. So yeah, that was just a little cover by pickup. I thought that was cool. I still haven't read that run of Silver Surfer. Seawood highly recommended it to me one time, but I still haven't done it yet. He's going to do a new versus old art show with Doc. Oh, snap. All right. Interested to see. Okay. So, boom. That was New Guy. That was, can you believe it? That was like the freaking half cover price. All them books, dude. So, that was I'm glad I came across that, dude. I went early in the morning because I was out and about early this morning. I had to bring, Lady 84 home early this morning. So it was like 9 a.m. It was like 8:30 a.m. And I was already out and about. I'm like, you know what? It's 8:30 on a Sunday. Usually I might be liable to sleep in on a Sunday. But I was like, dude, I'm already out and about. It's an early Sunday morning. I'm hitting that flea market, son. And I'm glad I did. We got Lasso in the chat. Let's see what he's got for me today. 84 80, 4-time neater than Magneto. Told Quicksilver to stop running and just park it. Logged on to live show us the books from the flea market. Grab up the trees and just spark it. You don't want to start shit. I'll carve up the top of your head. It'll look like some Bart shit. Bart Simpson. I'll leave you like the Tin Man with your heart missing. Spark friction gets created when I start spitting. You got my rhymes going, Lasso. Thank you for joining, sir. Oh, Garrett, this is an acclaim situation. Garrett. All right, let's get into the other seller, the older books. These, unfortunately, were not, cover price. But I still think I did okay. So, man, I snagged these. I just thought these were cool, man. And they were on the cheap, so I said, why not? Some 10-cent Dell Bugs Bunny, 10-cent Dell Bugs Bunny. And these are they're old school, man. I double checked the dates on some of them, and we're talking 1950. I think the newest one in here was 1952. So these are these are golden age for sure. These are golden age certified. 1950, 1951. This was the rain and flea market, Sam. Yes. Okay. Yeah, I'm gonna touch on that later before I head out. But why don't I just address that real quick? Lasso said he's started writing his entry for the contest last night, and I thank you. Um, if you guys didn't see the last contest update video that I did, it's pretty cool, right? It's pretty cool to read the stories that people came up with. It's fun. That's how you enter. And one of y'all is gonna win this. What if the Wolverine killed the Hulk slab, custom slab? I think there's like, 2 weeks left in the contest. And I'm still gonna do at least one more contest entry update video. 64-page special sent me a written entry, which is exciting. Jaguar sent me a written entry. But not too many more, I gotta say. So I think beyond my last contest update, I think I only got 2 more entries. Lasso's working on what would be 3. So throw your hat in the ring, y'all. Write a little story up. Or don't, it's okay. Yes. That's right, Donnie. This is part 2. Because I did one similar to this last year, you may recall. Basically, I want you to come up with a what-if story of your creation. You come up with a what-if story. And written entries are welcome because I read them. And you can make them... I read some that were like 6 paragraphs long. You know what I'm saying? So if you have time to check out, it's maybe like 1 or 2 videos ago on this channel, me doing like a contest update, and I read the entries that come in, you'll get a sense of what it's about. Boom. Okay. Let's get into these Golden Age Dell comics. So, yeah, it was a Bugs Bunny, 10 center. Bugs Bunny's famous hair grower. He's really just got a mop. So he's just clowning. He's just clowning around. That was number 317. This is number 281. Bam. I think they're just like pretty clean covers too. I feel like Bugs Bunny is just classic, iconic, Boom. Really, I feel like that's very sharp artwork. So, very nice. Number 274. And lastly, another pretty cool cover. Bam. Bugs Bunny fucking with Fudd. Don't be fussing with Fudd, dude. So yeah, that was the... I got these on the super cheap. I said, why not? Will they end up on like an auction block or getting A-OK to someone? Probably. I don't really need these in my collection, but it's just one of those things of like, I can't leave them here. So I took them home. Okay. Now, we're getting towards the end of the stack. I snagged this baby on the cheap. I think I paid $5 for this. And granted, the condition isn't something to write home about, but it's a pretty cool key for X-Men fans. And I think a little bit of a slept-on key, because I've always loved this character. We're talking Madrox, aka Multiple Man, Multiple Man before he was like the cool trench coat X Factor mutant. He was debuting alongside the Fantastic Four in the Inhumans in giant size Fantastic Four #4. Madrox, the multiple menace, they called him at first. Nice. Yeah. See, the crowd's popping for the multiple man. I agree. I have a higher grade copy of this. I made a point to pick one of these up a while back. So I'll pick these up anytime I find them if the price is right. Because it's such a cool book. And like not many characters get a real nice first appearance cover debut, you know. But for multiple man, I mean, you can't really get better than that. I mean, you got him using his powers, his multiple powers, beating up on the Fantastic Four. I mean, that's a fantastic way to debut this character. You can always do cool shit with multiple man. I've always loved him using his powers. I feel like if they do ever put him on screen in the future, I think he appeared in something before. Like he's a character that we were saying earlier how the stretchy powers don't always translate well to film. I think multiple man powers does. You can do a lot of cool stuff with that on screen. I feel like that's pretty easy for them to do nowadays. So that's pretty cool. So bam, he had a solo series not long ago that I actually read. His solo series from like a couple of years ago, maybe a year or two ago, and it was pretty good. Multiple Man is legit, I must say. Yeah, dude, I know. I've said that before too, man. I have the same feeling of like when people ask you, "Oh, what power would you like?" Dude, having a multiple man power is kind of where it's at. Because I gotta tell you, at work, at my place of business, sometimes I'm like, man, I wish I could just duplicate myself so the job could get done right. So, bro, I would be able to operate an entire small business knowing that all my staff is on point because I would just have duplicates of me. Plus, the world would just be, by and large, a better place if there was more Kennys in it. I think we can all agree. Thank you. Thank you. Mastodon's a huge fan of Madrox. No, yeah, since X Factor. Yeah, that's his definitive look. I like that look. Okay, and last up, rounding out the bunch, is he had a box with Hulk. He had a bunch of Hulk in it. And, there wasn't any crazy keys in it. But I snagged up a bunch of Herb Trimp Hulk issues. So I made a point. So I was grabbing a stack, and I kind of checked out the point at which Herb Trimp left the book, and that's kind of where I stopped picking. I'm like, let me just get Herb Trimp era Hulks, because I got my Hulk 180, and I got my Hulk 181, so that's true. With the multiplying power, you could have a good alibi. That's true. The trouble with my double is he wouldn't want to work either. That's a good point. Yeah, because I think you can control them to a certain point. And also I think distance is a part of it too. I think the further away the duplicates get from him, it kind of messes with how we can control them. Anyway, here's the Herb Trimp Hulk stuff. Hulk number 133, the Demon and the Dictator. That was pretty cool. I'm definitely gonna want to check some of these out. I really do like Herb stuff. Here we got MODOK. MODOK with like almost pulling like a Krang, where he's usually just a big ass head, But it looks like he got himself in a big robot body here, kind of like Krang, which I think is a tight move for MODOK, stomping out the Hulk. Next up, we got Hulk versus the Cobalt Man. You can't keep me down, router, internet, okay? You can't keep a good man down. All right, we're back. Let me know if I'm coming in clearly so we can just wrap this on up. Sorry about the delay. Okay. All right, we're back. People are tuning in here. We're good. 84 time 84 time neater than Magneto. Taller than Alpha Flight's puck. Give us a good show. But his router, it sucks. Yeah, that interruption was brought to you by our sponsor, Clearasil. And we all know the best part of waking up, brother. Fantastic. Okay, so yeah, we just have the Hulk stuff. So the rest of this haul is the Hulk, Herb Trimp action, Incredible Hulk number 185, 187. Look at that big-headed homie. Look at this one. We should open one up. Let's just check on the interior stylings of Herb Trimp. This is issue number 188 with a pretty badass. I mean, look at that. That's a cover. That's a cover. Crazy looking monster dude with the Hulk and like a mutated Triceratops in his hands. That's cool. Let's see what the inside stylings. Oh, there's the Triceratops. So it wasn't false advertising. We do get the Triceratops beast. Let's see if we can get a good Hulk page. Yeah, it gives you a pretty nice opening page. I feel like that dude in the front, very Kirby-esque. You know, I think it's fair to say, like, Herb Trimp definitely has his own style. I can spot it when I see it, but I think it's fair to say he was in that era that was heavily influenced by, you know, Jack. Yeah, Mr. You know, why don't you check on out Mr. G's Garage, who's got, you know, I don't know about his content, but he's got a great intro on those videos, I gotta say. So that's 188. I'm gonna, yeah, I plucked some of these because I legit want to read. I want to read some of these because I got some of them in order. So like 185, 187, 188, and then 189, Hulk with the Mole Man. 189, 190, Hulk 190, riding in on a rainbow is Gideon. Count Von Strange, salute to you, sir. 190 and also 191. Pretty interesting. Triumph of the Toad. So I got a good like 5 or 6 consecutive issues there. And then the 3 that I showed before we went wonky. Bam. So there you have it. I'll leave you on these 2 notes. I don't know if I showed this. I'm not sure if I made an Instagram video. I mean, I'm not sure if I just only did an Instagram post, but not a YouTube video. But the Gwenpool, um, first cover appearance, 1 in 25, I think. At the 9.8, I snagged that up. I wouldn't mind resubmitting that to get the new slab. Partly because the label's better, but also these old slabs are so thin compared to the nice beefy new slabs. New slabs like this one that you could win if you enter the What If contest on this very channel. You got 2 weeks. If you don't know the rundown, check out a couple videos ago on this very channel. It's easy. There's 2 prizes going out. Everyone who enters is just going to get put in the randomizer for this. And then the one that I deem my favorite is going to, I'll do like a sketch cover commission for, which, I can't speak to how good it's going to be, but I'll give you a choice of a bunch of blanks. And you can you can choose. But I will say, I was happy with the way this one came out. This one I'm sending some to CBCS to get graded for Man Cave and D. And I think I'm going to send this one in. I kind of like the way that this Tradmore style inspired Silver Surfer came out. So, might not be the best thing in the world, but it'll be a decent sketch cover. So you got to enter the contest for that. Okay. Yeah, man. These videos are hangs, Kachung. Where and when did you get that display shelf? Well, shit. I've had it for a very long time. Since I started the channel, I think. And I actually made it. This is a piece of like paneling, because I put up some walls in my basement. I kind of made like a little impromptu workout area, but it's like, unfinished foundation walls down there. And I didn't really have the room. The ceilings are kind of low, and I didn't want to do like a full finished basement situation with sheetrock and the whole bit. So I just put up 2x4 studs and I hung paneling, this paneling. So anyway, this is extra paneling. And I nailed in a little lip onto this paneling. It's called quarter round. It's like quarter round trim that you can use usually at the bottom of like a baseboard. So I got some quarter round that I nailed in to this paneling, and I made myself a nice little display shelf. Just because, maybe I should, but I don't do my videos in my comic room where I have all the books on the wall behind me. It's just the lighting is bad, the sound is bad in there, so I like doing it in this room. So I cooked that up. Boom. You need to catch up to California Blends. Oh yeah, I know. I've never submitted anything. Yeah, I know there was Cali Blend and God Tank submit a lot of stuff to CBCS, and I'm going to do CBCS and just get the art grade. I don't want them to, get like a 9.6 or a 9.4. You send them to CBCS, they still get a gold label, and it'll just say art, A-R-T, instead of a number grade, So I think that's the way to go. So yeah, enter the contest. And I'm just going to do a quick lightning round for those who came in late. And this was my $100 bounty at the flea market. We had the Hulks, all Herb Trimp Hulks. Bam. Bam. And I'm sorry, D and Man Cave. I know I'm procrastinating the hell out of that shit. I'm gonna make it happen. Part of me feels like I'm like, maybe I can do one more nice sketch cover so I can have 2 submitted, and then I submit your 2. But I feel like it's not fair. I need to just send it. Okay, Stone Cold Steve Whiting. Oh, that's what I forgot. Thank you. I have not shown this on my YouTube channel yet, but them Florida boys, dude. Stay Puff. Stone Cold Steve Whiting. The Cantonese Comic Kid. The whole gang. They hooked me up. They went to a show that had some wrestling greats. And tell me they didn't get me a personalized, look at that, Kenny, a.k.a. Comic Head 84. Signed by the Mouth of the South, Jimmy Hart. Of the Mega Powers. With the Mega Powers right on there, man. Macho Savage looking great. It's kind of funny that, like, the Monster Maniacs, it totally did not have as good a ring to it as Mega Powers, but Monster Maniacs, just the same. It's still a fantastic photo. And, thank you guys. That was so exciting that you guys hooked me up and thought of me on that. Appreciate you so much. I got that sitting in my room next to my Macho Man Slim Jim figure that Hialeah sent me like a year or more ago. So, very cool. Thank you. Because I'm sure you had something to do with it, Stone Cold. All right. So this is Lightning Round recap. Herb Tramp Hulk. Multiple Man. First appearance in Giant Size Fantastic Four, number 4. Some early 1950s Dell Bugs Bunny. Take care, Mastodon. $0.10, 1950, 1951, Bugs Bunny. Just a sweet Mike Allred, Silver Surfer and Hulk cover that just kind of reminded me of this guy, the Tales to Astonish. I just thought it was really well done, so I snagged that. I had my Star Wars come up with Kanan, the Last Padawan. 2 copies of number 1. And number 12. 3 great Mark Brooks covers. You can't beat it. Number 4. Boatwright. That's what I was thinking of. That's who I forgot to mention. Boatwright. He's the man. Shut up, D. This is a quick lightning round. R. Adams, homage to X-Men 50. She-Hulk from the Charles Soule run, which are cool covers, but as we explored earlier, the insides leave much to be desired. A-Force number 1, crispy copy. All new Wolverine with a nice, you know what I'm saying, Weapon X type of thing. Captain America, Falcon, number 1. Death, first appearance in DC Continuity, Action Comics, covered by Jim Lee. We're waiting on Lasso's punchline here. What do people look for at a flea market? Let's see. Picked up some of those America Chavez, man. Number 7. Number 5. Number 4. But the ones I was most excited to get was 1, 2, and 3. 1, 2, and 3 are issues that I have legit followed on eBay before, and I like that cover the best. It was so nice I got it twice. And lastly, number 1. So, not her first appearance, of course, but man. So I think I did pretty good. I think that was a C note well spent, and I just had fun. It was a nice Sunday morning session. I need to hit up your flea. Out here, there are 100 hunters and 2. Yeah, I know the feeling, man. When it's like, it feels like everyone's hunting. I looked out. It was this guy's first day at this flea market. He's like, "Oh, this is my first time doing it." I'm like, "Oh shit!" And no one was there. I was the only one going through his boxes. I'm like, "Okay, let's not let the word get out. Let me hit these boxes up first." But yeah, a lot of times there can be a lot of competition there. You got to get up early. What item do you think attendees of flea markets are looking for? If that's a serious question, then I would say there is, for collectibles, there are so many people that sell pops. So pops are very popular at flea markets, and so are like sports cards. So there's a collectibles person that goes, like retro video games, sports cards, and that. But then there's another section of people that you can get like kind of like knockoff stuff, like knockoff handbags, clutch purses, stuff like that, that look like nice purses, look like brand name, but they're not. So you can get good deals on that kind of stuff. Clothing. I bought I bought a package of like tank top, like wife beater tank tops, because they're so cheap over there. So there's a few different sellers that are just doing like socks, wife beaters, underwear, and those I think they do pretty good, because it's all, packaged Hanes stuff that I don't know if this shit just fell off the back of a truck or what, but you're selling it very cheap. Oh yeah, stuff like that. Vase decorative stuff is popular there, no doubt. So yeah, that's I think that's kind of the overall vibe at the flea market. Tools. It's a nice place to get tools. I'll tell you that. You can get like power tools, hand tools. Sometimes I don't really trust the power tools too much, but if you need to stock up on ratchet wrenches and screwdrivers and hammers and shit like that, you can really do well with not a lot of money at a flea market. You know what I mean? So yeah. All right, man. That has been the program. It was good to connect with you guys today. I hope you enjoyed the showcase. Sorry about the technical difficulties earlier, but you never know when disaster may strike. This has been the 84 Hour. And until next time, my friends, take care.